Hello, I'm Ian Henschke, your Chief Advocate. And look, I just want to say thank you for all of the feedback we had for the first edition of PAM, our electronic newsletter, Policy, Advocacy and Media, to keep you up to date with what's been happening. In fact, we had so much feedback we thought we'd better do it again. So here we go. Well, first to the inquiry into electricity pricing conducted by the ACCC. Now, you may have seen this week that Rod Sims has handed down his findings. Well, National Seniors put a submission in, and we also had appearances before public hearings both in Brisbane and in Adelaide, where we raised the concerns that you've been giving us, and that is that power prices are way too high and they have to come down. Well, Rod Sims has said that that's going to happen. We'll have to keep him to that promise. After the ACCC hearings, it was off to the Northern Territory, where National Seniors is going from strength to strength. We had a wonderful dinner in Alice Springs and honoured long-serving member Margaret Gaff for her outstanding contribution. There were media appearances on ABC Radio which reinforced our messages. We welcomed the Northern Territory Government as a corporate member, and we welcomed their employees to National Seniors. We also met several key politicians as well, both in Alice Springs and in Darwin. There was a Seniors Expo on in Alice Springs, and that was a great success. I also visited the town's major aged care facility known as the Old Timers Village. Then I was off to Canberra, to the national capital, for meetings with Ken Wyatt, the aged care minister. We raised your concerns about retirement villages amongst a range of issues. And on the way, I managed to bump into Charles Woolley, the veteran 60 Minutes reporter, so maybe there'll be a story coming up soon on ageing. I also had a meeting with Tony Quilty, the head of the Pharmacy Guild, who was at pains to remind you that as of early next year, painkillers with codeine will no longer be available over the counter. You'll need a prescription. So talk to your GP if you're going to be affected by this. Then I was on to New South Wales to meet the new minister there, Tanya Davies. We had other ministerial meetings also in Western Australia and one with Federal Education and Training Minister Simon Birmingham. On a recent visit to Adelaide, a key highlight was a visit to a well-run aged care facility in the inner northeastern suburbs. I went there with Senator Lucy Gachui, who's made aged care a high priority since assuming her position last May. The centre has a bus stop inside an enclosed secure garden. It's a bittersweet reminder that half of those in aged care have some form of dementia. Senator Lucy Gachui is an independent, as is South Australian MP Frances Bedford. She's also made ageing a key area of concern, in particular the need for more home care packages. Well, I'm pleased to announce the federal government has responded to this call. A key highlight in the last month has been the West Australian National Seniors Convention, held biannually in Perth. It was opened by the Governor of Western Australia, and Minister Ken Wyatt also addressed members. It was 3 days of fun, food, fellowship and ideas. We had addresses by people who had climbed Mount Everest. There was talk about downsizing, a whole range of issues. And of course, I had to address the convention as well. And in my speech, I raised the issue about advanced care directives, wills and powers of attorney. I did this because my brother's just recently died at the age of 74. And you could say he had a good death. And part of the reason for that was because he had things in place in advance. Now, National Seniors has discovered from its research that almost half of Australians do not have a will, an advanced care directive and a power of attorney. And this is something that we're going to take up in future. Finally, I'd like to finish with a photo of a meeting I had recently with Foreign Minister Julie Bishop. It was a great opportunity to once again point out that seniors and national seniors are a real force to be reckoned with. Oh, and by the way, over the last couple of months, we've continued to push the message out there on radio, TV and in print that seniors issues are key issues. And as we head towards an election next year and another budget, we'll make sure that we keep you informed. I'll get out of your way now.